The train headed for Sunset City will be departing soon.
I don't know what to start off with. Let's just start. Who wants to do the stuff?
I think you should, Pup.
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome everybody to Sunset City, the Sonic podcast for the classic and modern age. With me today is Dylan.
Hey, I'm back yet again. Hello.
Hey. We got Franken.
Hello.
And we got Ian.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
But you know who we don't have today?
Of course.
Trey.
No Trey.
Trey.
Not this time. But
Trey
yeah,
is busy today.
Trey is busy with his girlfriend. So, yeah. He's got
Come on, I would rather talk about Sonic.
He's got no
Come on.
time for talking about Sonic with his brothers anymore. He's too busy with his girlfriend. So, that's
See,
fine.
I told you I told you he's not a real gamer.
He's weak, is what he is. Weak. He's been tempted by the pleasures of the flesh and the heart, probably.
Oh, come
And
on.
now...
If he was driving a car, he would have called us, but, you know.
Oh, yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
You didn't have to fucking take his will to live, Ian. Jesus. But, okay, a quick housekeeping. If you're sending in a super chat today, as with all days, they will be read out at the end of the stream, just to keep the flow of our amazing conversations going. And we are brought to you by Patreon, or our many great Patreons. Go to our Patreon, make donations, and you can join the Discord server as a way. You know, there's some other perks as well sometimes, you know. Yeah, you know how it is. Fish Tank. There's 4 people in Twitch right now,
Oh, wow.
and they're kind of cool.
Fish are repopulating over there.
They're they're fucking breeding over there.
Glad to see it. Twitch channel's growing.
The Twitch is just a fucking orgy at this point. I'm gonna go join them.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
come on, you're a
Don't do
gamer.
that.
That's not a thing you do.
Oh, Frank with the zingers every day. Ooh.
Dang, I
I'm the
think
only
Pup's
person who-
dead. I think Pup's
I'm the-
soul got crushed. Is he
I'm the
gone?
only person who could reuse jokes and just apply them to different people.
Did we lose Pup? Is he still?
I was gonna say, I think we killed him. I think he's dead.
That's never mind. It was a sausage fest. I'm back.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Just not into fish, dude. I'm not Kanye West. Anyways, so the weed, right? Let's consult the weed. What do we got? What do we got this week? Okay, so news. It's time for the Sunset City News Jammer. We're starting with a big one, all right? We're starting off with a big boy. Last week we spoke a bit about the Coro Coro Shadow the Hedgehog manga. Remember?
Yeah. It kind of rocks.
Yeah.
Well, Coro Coro have issued a statement as of late asking people to stop fucking pirating the manga. They're saying that if you keep pirating it, there might not be any more. So no more pirating the manga, please. Do not
And
repost
you're all gonna
it.
go to jail for talking about it.
Do not. Yeah, you could.
Yeah, we're
They,
all a bunch of
they
filthy
might
criminals.
We didn't
pursue
show
legal
it.
stuff.
We didn't tell them where to go. Hey, that is true. We didn't tell them where to go.
No, that
Okay.
is true. I feel
We
like
didn't
it's
do
not
that.
our
found
That
it.
was
We
not
didn't
something we
post
did.
Yeah, it's like with ROMs. We don't tell them where to go. We just
Okay,
say,
so
"We
we've
found it."
established that we're innocent, but we're just normal men.
Not as innocent as you'd think.
We're just innocent,
Innocent
men.
men.
Why you add that to the end, Frank?
But
It's
dun,
just
dun,
like-
dun, 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 dun.
But as creators, we are innocent in the fact that we did not tell people where to go. We didn't say, "Hey, click this link." There's no link.
Look, I'm not saying I read it. It came up on my screen. I saw the words. You know?
Look, I dropped my laptop, it opened up, and oh, hey, look, the entire comic was right there.
Personally,
Whoa,
I had it transplanted into my brain while I was sleeping, so I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty innocent.
The same friend that forced me to watch Two Girls, One Cup forced me to read this. It was just
Jesus.
one of those things, you know? Like,
awful.
Could have gone with anything
Awful to
more
hear that.
pleasant.
Dude, I had a friend.
Anyway,
I had a
wasn't
friend that
that.
was like that. You go to his house, you're inevitably gonna watch that shit. I don't know why I still went
That's
over
such-
there, to be honest. But
That's such a mid 2000s thing.
it was the mid
Or mid to
2000s.
li-
That's why.
Yeah, that was the thing. They would find a bunch of shocking things and show it to you. It's either that or some kind of jump scare where it's like somebody driving.
I
driving
got
down a road.
desensitized to it as
Oh,
well.
I
after a
know that
while.
one.
Like
Oh, those are like old school ones.
maybe even started.
And
to
there's
like it a
also
little
some
bit.
other-
Nah, just no way. But like,
Even Pup won't commit to that joke.
there are some lines still, you know. But okay. Any thoughts to Coro Coro saying stop fucking pirating our shit?
I mean, they're right.
Translate it so I can read it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
Translate so I can
release
buy
it
'cause I
worldwide.
won't buy it.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I think they would need to be able to justify releasing either the manga or their own magazine worldwide, and it might not make the most sense. I mean, how many publications actually stick around? Like print media is like mostly dead, isn't it?
I mean, the
So
alternative
Frank, what
thing
you're
you
so
could
what
do-
you're saying is there wouldn't be much money in it, but they're claiming they would lose money by the people who they're not going to sell to reading it. Correct?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That too.
Interesting.
I mean, one thing they could do though is why did I even pingus that? No one was talking. They could lease. I mean, you'd have to have another publication that's interested, but obviously, like, if Coro Coro started publishing comics and stuff in worldwide, I mean, who's to say that, you know, people would be interested in their other stuff that isn't Shadow? I'm sure there would be some, but it would be ultimately kind of niche, I guess. But if they maybe were able to get distribution to, I don't know, IDW or something to put out just the Shadow manga stuff in, like, other issues of things, you know? So it could be, like, buy the latest IDW Sonic issue, and you'll get part of the Coro Coro Shadow manga in the back. You could even put a little thing on the front that just says, look, it includes this. That would be one way of doing it.
Oh, wait. I forgot. I got to use the soundboard.
You don't have to use the soundboard.
No. I got to use the soundboard.
Oh no!
Okay, proceed.
Okay. You actually do have to hire translators, and it depends on what exactly you want to translate. Do you want to translate the manga? Sure,
I'll
do
do it.
that. And honestly, there's online distributions that you could put it through, and people would most likely buy it. Though you'd also come across the issue of piracy because you could just take screenshots and put them up online. If you want to do it for the actual physical magazine, I think that's a lot more expensive. So Coro Coro could just take the manga, hire translators, and just put out the comics themselves and sell them. But it's just whether or not it makes sense that they want to do that or not.
The thing is, though,
It's up to them.
I think 99.9% of people that are pirating this manga don't speak Japanese, live in Japan, and therefore cannot buy the manga anyway. So I'm not really sure what they're worried about, unless there's a massive piracy issue in Japan. And maybe this doesn't mean us, but I have seen that they have copyright.
They were talking about us specifically.
They have me in specific. They have
Yeah,
copyright.
they're like the Sunset City podcast needs to stop doing it.
No copyright law in the universe is going to stop us. But
No copyright intended.
but they have been copy wrecking some posts that have been posting the manga. So and in English too. So it's just it's one of those things where I have seen some folks saying, guys, we should take this on board because it affects the artists in a negative way. But to be honest, I think, I mean, I don't know, I can't speak for them, but like I would
selling
want
it also affects the artist.
I would want as many people as possible to see the work. I mean, it means they could maybe lose out on commissions, but I kind of just think Coro Coro's way of going about this is just not the kind that's going to win support, you know? Like,
Well, I mean, they're being very
It is-
alarmist about it. Like I'm sorry. Go ahead, Frank.
It is an older company, so they're probably stuck in their ways.
Oh yeah. Oh,
well,
absolutely.
come on, Grandad,
I
let's
mean,
get your catheter back in and publish those Shadow
one
comics.
Thing that I was thinking of though, like I don't know what this was published in, but Nintendo has actually published a couple of their like manga adaptations in the US now. Like we have I think the Kirby one came out here, and I know the Super Mario manga came out. The one, it's like a joke manga almost, and that I believe was in a monthly publication before. So I assume it just has to be like something the company's interested in doing.
Was that the Super Mario Adventure?
No, it's Super Mario Kun.
Oh, okay. And then also they have the Legend of Zelda.
manga.
Like almost every game has a manga.
Yeah, dude.
That one I think was always just a separate manga, though. I don't think that was included in anything before.
Like, dude, if I had good money, I'd pay good money for the Klonoa manga. Suppose my point kind of undoes itself with the if, but you know, like, yeah.
And yeah, piracy is taken a lot more serious over there than it is here. Well, then again, actually, yeah.
I mean, Nintendo are very hot on piracy. Maybe a little too hot on piracy. I mean, definitely
it's
too
not
hot
privacy.
on piracy.
It ain't privacy. It's not privacy. You would expect that out of an American company.
Well, yeah, like Nintendo though are like, hey, how dare you steal this thing we're not selling?
Yeah, how are we gonna get the money we're not gonna get from you? Like, I don't know.
I am just wondering. What,
no, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like obviously support things when you can and stuff like that. But if they're literally not going to sell it to you, I mean, just read it. It's fine. Now
like
now I know what people are talking about, where it's like, well, especially like freaking Archie.
Unless Ken Penders wants to sell some, we'll get to it.
We'll get to it, but yeah, I mean, I know to address what I know, some people have talked about is like people are sending like the artist like scans or whatever and being like, haha, we translated it. Obviously, don't be a dick like that, of course. But for the people who are like being alarmist in the sense of like you reading it and saying nothing to anybody and, you know, it's literally never going to make it to anyone who's worked on this comic, that is harming people. It's like, it's literally not. Just read it. It's fine. Like,
we actually didn't read it as well. Like a carrier pigeon was telling me about it. So there you go.
Yeah. Also, the translation that's out there is not really that good, to be honest. Like, it's an extremely literal translation.
It's like Google Translate.
Like, I wouldn't say it's not localized. You know, like there's a lot of like weird broken statements and stuff.
It wouldn't surprise me if it was Google Translate, because if you had somebody who is probably used to translating like other Japanese media, they'd probably try a literal translation, but fix it just enough to where it sounds like it makes sense.
Yeah.
Maria,
but if we had like
and also
you will die.
Well, also, so if someone could clarify for me, so it is just out in Japan, right? Like you can buy it now.
Anyway, is out.
Yeah.
But they're they're playing a little bit of brinkmanship and saying that if you don't stop pirating this, we won't make any more. It's like
what are you? What are you, a fucking toddler?
Well, first, but then also, what are you gonna sell?
Yeah. No. No, I don't respect it at all. If you can buy it, then obviously buy it. But since we literally cannot buy it, and they're going, hey, we're not going to sell it to you. What do you think's going to happen?
Yar.
Yeah. Oh, we have no, what is the word? We have no plans to bring it anywhere else or translate it, but you better not look at it ever. You better not even look at this.
I suppose the comeback they could say is, yeah, but we didn't fucking make it for you. Go away. But then it's like, you're telling the money to go away.
It was made for Sonic fans, so it was made for us.
Also, I don't believe in cultural exclusivity, so...
I was gonna say, at that point, I just don't respect you, so I'm just gonna read it. So, if you're not gonna sell it, if you're not gonna literally take the money out of my wallet so I can give it to you, then fine, I'll just read it.
Yeah, as an American, I literally have nothing in terms of media, so you better fucking give me this shit. I'm probably sending way mixed messages here, but like... No, I am with you guys, though. Like, yeah, I don't see any sense in, like, telling us not to steal the thing they're not selling. So, you know.
Well, also, for a funny connection point, or like another example, you know, my friend Lort, he just released a video on Olin Rogers and his show, Final Space, and he had to basically, like, and that show got completely taken down off of streaming. They wrote it out.
That was one that Netflix nuked, wasn't it?
Yeah, but they got rid of it as like a tax write-off, all those things.
Yeah,
and
I
so
hate
he's like, oh, sure. He's like, surely then I can make this video about it and like use music from the show or use footage because like no one's making money off it. And no, he had to literally alter all the music, slow it down, change the speed, flip it because he was still getting copyrighted claim on a show you cannot pay to see.
That's
If
Yeah,
you're gonna be
most
nasty, they
annoying
can at
thing
least
I've
be
ever
consistent.
heard. Literally, if they write it off as a tax write-off, that shit should become public domain.
I agree.
Yes.
Like they should not own that anymore. That's not fair.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
I have
thing. Like,
also-
even though it is scrapped and it's now like no longer going to be shown or aired or ever see the light of day, they still own the rights to it. So that is the
Yeah,
big
well, they can go
problem.
fuck themselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
I say.
like I hear it's like, oh, they scrapped it for a tax write-off. Like, shit, is David Zaslav behind this?
I've renamed the
Who knows?
episode to Schrödinger's comic.
Schrödinger's comic. Oh,
But yeah.
God. That's good stuff.
All
Is
right.
all in the manga?
That's all I have for that one anyway.
Yeah. Anyone else got anything to say on Coro Coro and the magical disappearing manga?
No.
Aside from, look, it might not be legally right to do so, but it's morally right. No, I'm kidding. No, they're not Nintendo. I'm not gonna say that about them. But yeah, it is. It does kind of suck that we probably won't get this either, like anytime soon or ever. I hope they realize that, oh hey, there's an audience that actually would love to read this entire thing and support it, because Sonic fans are more than willing to support it with their wallets.
I suppose in a lot of ways, though,
So.
it's down to Sega as well. Like, Sega would
Yeah,
probably be the
Sega-
ones to commission it being redistributed. And you know that Sega, when it comes to redistributing comic books, are not the one.
The Shadow Manga Ultimate Edition. Let's fucking go. Bloom
It's gonna be-
everywhere.
Like, you can't look at it.
Archie Digital
Text only-
Deluxe.
Text is only going to be on the left side of the panel.
And it's in black and white. You have to pay for color.
And in the middle of it, one of the
Color
pages is
DLC.
missing because it's a duplicate of the previous one.
If you buy the Digital Deluxe, you can turn the pages.
Or like, oh, what about in those old Captain Underpants books? If you guys ever read those, how like
Oh,
they had
those-
those certain pages where you flip it back and forth and it looks like it's animated. You have that.
but
It's
I
like
would love-
Maria getting shot.
I'll say, okay, but I would love that, except for that last bit.
Flip-o-rama, baby.
Oh, hell
Just say
yeah,
you're coming up with fun ideas.
Do one with a little
Yeah.
blood
See,
pack in
the
it. You
thing-
open it and it squirts blood at you, just like.
Damn it! Someone beat me to it.
Every time, Frank. Every time.
Yeah, stop beating me to it.
Oh, I wish I still had the punch sound effect. Damn it.
Yeah, Flipperama. That's what it was. That's fun.
Yeah.
They should make an adult version
you wanna
called
get-
Stripperama. They must have done that. That must exist.
And on this edition of Pup is gooning for something that doesn't exist.
I need to tell you about when I first discovered girls.
No, it's okay.
So, Pup, why don't we talk about that last video
Okay.
you made,
My-
where you were talking
My
about
friend
one
and
of the
I
more
wanted to
recent
start our
Fortnite
own
characters, huh?
magazine that we would sell, and it was going to be called Booby Bonanza. So that's that. We were enterprising individuals that had just discovered what safe search was and how to turn it off.
It's like, oh well, you know, it was grade school. It's like, no, that was our college years.
No, that was like
that
2
was,
weeks
that was
ago.
yeah, literally yesterday.
That was
No,
today. It was
No,
entertaining.
we must have been like 10 or something, just discovering girls for the first time, and yeah. But
What do you mean discovering girls for the first?
well,
You know
how it's
girls
like
were
when
you know what he means by discovering. for the
surely
first
you
time.
know
It's
what
not
I
like,
mean
oh,
by that. I'm not like Christopher
I thought- I
Columbus
was
being like,
you
"What
mean,
is
like
this?"
you looked outside, saw a girl for the first time, and you're like, what? What is?
What?
Dylan, you're too pure for this. For
Literally,
this
I was thinking
conversation.
like Goku. Like, you know Goku in the original Dragon Ball when he's like, he does not
True.
understand that girls are like different.
That was Pup.
Yeah.
That was Pup before he became what he is today.
Bulma, your balls.
What am I today?
You're gone.
I think that's literally still me. I'm gonna be in my fucking mid-30s, still getting nosebleeds just because someone says something to me. Well,
Someone
anyways,
waves
But
at
yeah,
you.
to Coro Coro, please officially translate it. If you have to cut another deal with Sega, fine, whatever. This would be really nice to have, especially if you have like as a physical version of it, because so far manga's awesome.
It's
I don't know if
not
that's the whole thing, is it?
Coro. It's not the whole thing. That's just the first issue. But Coro,
Yeah.
it is not your fault. We know that. But don't ask for us to bully you, because we're gonna bully you.
Don't take it out on the whole internet. Just take it out on the gremlins that wanted to brag about it.
Mm-hmm.
There we
Okay.
go.
Well, next topic.
All right.
Then. So this is another instance of excellent. I'll just fuck it. Okay, so
You'll do what?
forget it. Sega said like we're gonna put shadow in everything, right? That was a thing. They put a tweet out, and today they announced
Well, yeah.
that a shadow
It is your
skin
shadow.
is coming to Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. Now,
Yeah.
in Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble, they have other Sonic skins that this shadow could fit right in with. You've got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, all in their classic designs. So what have they done to make a shadow that could fit in with them, you might be wondering?
The Shadow Rumble model.
You literally
Actually,
just
that
use
would
that.
work.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh my God, you cracked the case.
Well,
Like honestly, that and the
Giga
Knights
brain right
costume.
here.
Why can't Knights be like a character as well? Why can't Knights be more than a costume? I don't understand.
the answer is that they put the Monkey Ball guy in a shadow onesie. They fucking onesied us again.
Just like
Yeah.
Superstars.
This onesie shit, it's cute, but I'm not letting this distract me from the fact that they are too pussy to give us a classic shadow.
You literally have a
Literally
model
have
that
to.
could work. You have
Yeah.
the Sonic. Just go to Sega Hardlight. Hey, can we borrow this shadow? For
Or
a
just,
moment, for a
or just
moment?
take the
We
fucking
borrow
Sonic,
this bottle that we own.
take the Sonic Superstars shadow onesie and black his face up. Okay, let me rephrase that.
Oh,
As in, like, just
okay.
just
All right.
take
then.
that and make
Hold
it
on,
not a onesie. Is what I meant.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
take
need you
that
to
clip
not.
and make Pup into something else.
All
Make
right,
Pup
okay,
into a
okay.
release.
I guess I need to make another apology. I don't regret what I said. I just regret that you heard
I got
it.
the ukulele ready. Jesus
That's
Christ,
awesome.
Pop.
You were. I've had that problem in the past where like I say something and it comes out completely in a way I don't intend it to, but I'm cautious with my words now. Like I totally understand that you just say things, then after you go, oh whoops.
That's one for
not
the
what I meant.
compilation.
That's not what I meant.
It's funny because like I'll jokingly say like, oh, it's not. Oh, that sounded like like you know how I joke around.
I'm just
Yes.
Like I don't even pretend that I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to say it like that. I was like, nah, I'm just going for it.
There is a nasty little MAGA man living within me, bubbling beneath the surface, trying to crawl his way out.
For a moment, I thought you said Mega Man. I was like,
No,
It
MAGA
breaks
man.
on that brain rot.
Can you imagine that though, MAGA man?
No, I don't
He
want
defeats
to.
Donald
And-
Trump
and
he
his
gets
sister.
superpowered.
And his sister, Pole.
I just saw the costume.
Holes.
Why is it? Why is the costume shiny?
Oh
He's made
yeah.
of plastic.
Anyways,
Why?
but yeah. So once again, classic shadow avoidance. Because it wouldn't make sense for the canon, the sacred canon, because everyone knows that Sonic is the gold standard of continuity and storytelling.
The sacred,
can't-
never moving, always consistent canon from game to
They
game
can't put
since.
Shadow. They can't put Shadow. Can't put Knight. Fucking cowards.
This is the thing though. I wouldn't mind a focus on continuity and being protective of it if it were good. Like if it was something sacred to protect, I could get past it. But the thing is, continuity in Sonic has always been a piece of shit. And they are trying to make it not a piece of shit 32 years into its run. And it's like, brother, just have some fun. Have some fucking fun.
You got someone in the chat. Pup, your Frieza is showing.
Okay, so I've been watching Dragon Ball, but I haven't met Frieza yet, so I don't know.
Okay.
Frieza yet. Okay, you'll know.
When you meet
He's the
Frieza, you'll
world's
know exactly what we
strongest
mean.
Just recently, where am I up to right now? Okay, so Nappa got killed and Vegeta is proving to be a big problem. He turned
Oh,
into he turned into the big monkey, but then cut off his tail, and then fucking Gohan turned into Big Monk.
Honestly,
Okay,
calling
so
them monkeys like that, you are exactly lined up for meeting Frieza.
Yeah,
Like,
you're ready.
Perfectly lined up.
Oh, you're ready.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah, it's
then.
okay. I gotta.
You should have just called him a
I
filthy
have-
monkey, but you know.
Whoa. Okay. I have this patch that says Frieza Force on it. I'll be sure to mail it to you.
Perfect.
I kid you not. I actually do have one. It was like one of those loot gaming things that you can buy like at GameStop.
I kind of
don't know
want
if they
that.
still sell them, but
I don't even know who
It's kinda
Frieza
cool.
is, but I want that.
and one of them was themed on Dragon Ball villains.
Ooh. I gotta say, I'm liking Vegeta. I think right now, my favorite character is probably either between King Kai or Krillin. Krillin is just a respectable dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a cool
Oh, yeah.
dude.
Krillin is like the Frank of Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Gree. Fragon Ball.
You know
Franken
what?
Ball.
I'm having a stroke.
You know what? I know a little more about Dragon Ball. I should be offended, but I'm just like, you know what? I'll take it. You know, knowing what I know about the series, I'll
Hey,
take
you
it.
No,
know
you're
what?
right.
Be Krillin.
I'll take
He's
that
just
as a
chill.
compliment.
No, he does. He
Yeah, I'll
says.
take that.
He said that's good.
Krillin
good thing.
fucking chilling, you know? Dylan, you are
I just
definitely
hope my
Gohan.
future ends up like his.
I'm Gohan.
Yeah, because you scream and cry all the time.
Oh man.
Hey, but you know what,
He
Dylan? Here's the
also-
thing. Here's the thing. Gohan and Krillin are like total bros.
They are total. You're right. That is a
I'm
good
also
point.
kind of
Also,
Gohan,
does
though,
have a
'cause I
pretty good
miss my
run.
dad,
to be
too.
honest.
Pup can be Yajirobe.
Yeah.
I want to be Yajirobe. 'Cause
Which
I just
one's
chill.
Jirobe?
Okay.
My buddy, my housemate Sam, said, you know the hairy guy with the sword that cuts off
Yeah.
That's
Vegeta's head?
Yajirobe.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that makes
that's
so
him.
much sense, because literally, as soon as he was like, no, I gotta go make dinner, my buddy Sam goes, that is so you-coded, pup. Like... And I was like, yeah, that is
If you want to
basically
see
me.
more of Yajirobe Pup, watch the original Dragon Ball. Or watch Dragon Ball, like, the original series, not Z.
Sure. Well, eventually, but right now, we're just doing the Zekai. Dragon Ball Zekai. I don't want to make that sound like Zekyle. So I'm just gonna
Okay,
clarify
no one,
that.
literally no one was gonna say that at all.
I
Yeah,
was
no,
thinking
I was gonna say.
So thank you for
I was gonna say, I
clarifying.
totally,
I'm not.
I totally
I'm
get
not
what you
Hitler,
mean, 'cause-
okay.
like I'm going through Dragon Ball Z again, so I decided to go with the Kai version just because it's a little faster.
Mhm.
The
I've
the
never seen
original
Kai.
is 292 episodes, and I'm just like, I am not doing that.
I really do have to ask, what is up with Mr. Popo?
Let's not get into
Is he
that
blue in
discussion.
Kai? Did they make him blue?
No, he's not
No.
blue. He is.
Only what is it? I forgot what I don't know if was it WB or Toonzai or whatever they called it. This is after.
There was one
rewatching.
version where they made him blue, cause like
Yeah, they
You
turned
know.
him to like this bright blue, or it was a dark blue, but it just seemed like it was glowing for whatever reason. It was super weird.
he is very magical
Um,
though. So I guess that makes sense if he glows.
Well, there was also a lot of weird edits. Like they drew over like the wound over Gohan's eye, and they tried to make it look like an eye, and it looked really bad.
So I don't know if this is
Dude.
gonna age badly as I watch more, but I feel like Ian, you are the Goku.
Well, thank you. I want it to be
and-
Yajirobe, but I appreciate it.
I don't think I know
Goku
who
and
that
Krillin,
is.
total bros, loving it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
Ian
just
arrives
winning.
whenever we need him. The instant we need him.
The instant. Oh no.
Yeah, he's dead for a bit, and then yeah.
4 kids. There you go.
True.
Yeah, Toonzai had Dragon Ball Z Kai, and they had like the weird ass edits.
I also noticed actually that just recently they took the auto tune off of the opening credits song, and I like it way better now.
They had auto tune.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, in the first
as
few
you go through the
episodes.
series,
Oh, what is
as
it?
you go
Dragon
through the
Soul?
series,
Yeah.
it's Dragon Soul, but it's performed by
I fucking
different
love that
people.
song.
Yeah, I love the
Um,
song too.
Don't stop, we're in lockdown.
Yeah,
Don't
you have
stop
somebody with like a
living
higher
like
pitched
it.
voice, or you have someone who I think the guy who voiced Broly did one of the themes, which
Yeah, it's Vic. Whatever his name is. Vic.
yeah,
Filet mignon or whatever.
disgraced,
I like to think
disgraced
though that
voice actor.
people who watched Sunset City in the Gen 1 era and heard all the jokes about how Pup doesn't watch Dragon Ball and how Nick wants me to watch Dragon Ball, it'll make me a better Sonic fan, and Sirius thinks I should watch Dragon Ball, and Wayne thinks I should watch Dragon Ball. I like to think that people that were fans of the first era are just coming right now. Like, this is an arc.
I didn't know we could say that.
You could say coming. Because coming could just mean they're arriving, Frank. You know, they're just arriving here. Anyways, getting off track though. Or get back on track, I guess. I did want to clarify a couple of points about the previous episode and a lot of the discussion about Izuka. Because I did notice that there was some criticisms towards my words, and I'm here to tell you that you're fucking unfat. I'm joking. I'm here to just clarify a few bits and pieces.
I was waiting for that. I was like, "Oh, he's going mask off this time. This is gonna be
double
fun.
down, triple down."
No, I just quickly popped the
I've
mask back on.
decided that I'm very right.
I have decided that I
extremely
hate Izuka, and I'm going to kill him. No.
Whoa,
Okay,
whoa,
all
whoa,
right.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
We do
whoa,
not
whoa,
co-sign
whoa,
that.
whoa.
We of the Sunset City podcast.
Yes,
we're
yes,
gonna
the
Without
views
thinking
of
constantly.
Channel
That is
Pup
not what
are
he meant.
shared by everyone involved and represent the
No.
views of the gang as a
In
whole.
Minecraft. In Minecraft, and there's no
if-
actual real hostile. Pup, I want to keep getting like review codes and shit. You can't say stuff
I
like
want to
that.
get review codes too, and maybe part of the
Well,
reason
maybe you
I'm
shouldn't
so...
say stuff like that then.
Maybe I'd stop saying stuff like that if I got
I
review
just want to be on
codes.
Sega's good side, okay? I don't even care about the review codes. I just want to be on their good side.
They don't
I
watch
just
Sunset
want the
City.
review codes.
But in actuality,
They really should.
I did
sometime.
just want to note that in light of things like the Crash 5 cancellation and stuff, because I can be very critical of Sega in regards to restrictions and what they don't do, but at the same time, it has to be appreciated that this is a company outside of Nintendo that understands the value in the platforming genre, because Lord knows that Microsoft, Activision, and a lot of other companies have shown great disrespect for that genre. And I think not only is it good that Sega does continue to give us Sonic games, despite, you know, there have been times when it looks like, you know, there's been times where I suppose it would have been understood if they did call it quits way in the far past. They didn't. They kept it going. That is a good thing. I do appreciate that. So I do want to note that there are aspects where Sega are forward-thinking, and I think Izuka is a true believer in that. So again, I don't take that for granted. Ultimately, it's just whoever is in charge of making decisions like, oh, Chow Guns can only be part of an adventure game, we're not ever going to make an adventure game, etc., that kind of stuff. I think that is very backwards, and we can do better. They can do better. So, yeah, that's just some points I wanted to clarify there. Yeah. That's...
Well, there we go.
That Blade
Got
of
it.
Fox
Okay.
14 makes an excellent point. Up is constantly edging, getting flipped out of context. You could
Plenty of
probably
bits-
make like an hour's worth of me joking about things before making the real point and just pass me off as the most controversial man in the Sonic fan base.
Blade Fox, if you want a clip, I have a clip from my old Sonic Adventure stream.
Oh,
that you
come
can
on.
have.
You just can you just let go of that? I didn't mean it that way.
I know, but it was just perfect.
It wasn't that word that I was thinking of.
I know.
I'm not
It was
racist, damn
hilarious.
it. I mean, I'm trying
It
not
was
to be.
hilarious.
Failing, apparently.
Okay.
Failing, apparently.
You could have stopped before you said that. Okay.
So anyway, I'd like to get some review codes, Sega, if you... like, that would be... I mean, listen,
So,
listen, on my own channel, I
damn it.
behave myself, because I'm on a script. So, Sega, if you do want to send review codes, send them Pup's way, not Sunset City's way. Bad idea.
What are we smoking next on the weed?
Nice!
something strong, I hope.
That was awesome. What's the next strain?
some-
Well,
There you go.
Sonic Movie 3 limited edition poster. We've gotten a look at it. It's Shadow doing the Akira slide, effortlessly fingering the concrete. I can't fucking say anything today. And it...
you just need to stop. Jesus.
I think the problem is that you catch yourself and you clarify. Just say it and move.
If I can pivot back to, I think we talked about the Akira slide a while back and tropes and stuff. I was kind of wondering though, like, how how long is it before
Dude,
something
that's-
becomes a trope and isn't seen as like plagiarism?
That's what I said last week.
You know, like the second time that people do it, right? Like it's like, hey, you're copying that guy. But then
That's a
if like the
reference.
fifth time, people are like, oh yeah, it's the Akira slide. You know, like
So
I wonder.
I'm just gonna say this. It wasn't just a finger. Those are like straight up like deep scratches.
Oh yeah.
I mean, also though, like if you peel out or piece out, whatever the fuck the term is, on a motorcycle and you do a little slide,
Feel out, yeah.
are you doing the Akira slide or is it just an accident?
True. Is life
Yes,
imitating
and
art
it's
or art
awesome.
imitating life?
What could it be? What if you've
My answer
never
is
seen Akira before and you're like, I'm gonna do a slide on the motorcycle? Someone must have done it before Akira happened.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, where would you get the inspiration to do it?
Well, then why is it called the fucking Akira slide and not the Jeffrey who pieced
I
out on his
slide.
bike slide?
I think because that's an image or like a clip of that slide has been seen so many times that people automatically know where it's from.
I say
Yeah, I mean-
whoever pieced out on their motorcycle first should get to reclaim it.
Peel out pup.
No, peel out is when you're like, like whereas peace out is like goodbye, like.
Dylan, to answer your question about like when does it become like a trope or like plagiarism or whatever,
Yeah.
I do think it just depends on the vibe. Like I think it just depends on people. Like when I see the Akira slide, I've never seen Akira, so my brain does not instantly go like, oh, see Akira slide. I just go, oh, that's a cool motorcycle. Oh yeah, isn't that like a thing that they do in a lot of movies? Also, I think to be fair, this is a situation where like people say like, oh, it's the Akira slide, right? But like Pup is bringing up, it's just a thing you can do on a motorcycle. So like to me, it's the exact
Wait,
same
is that-
way I feel about like I really love PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, but they were so terrified of not being Smash Bros that they were like, well, we can't have like characters knock each other off. Then it's just Smash Bros. It's like, guys, it's fine to just make a fighter
The
where you
Smash
knock
Bros.
people
gravity.
off and they die. Like that's not an original concept. All right, just do it.
You've been falling off platforms and platformers for like 40 something years. Like it's not that big a deal.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say like in the case of the Akira slide, it's fun to call it that, but I don't think it's actually like something you can like plagiarize and steal. It's just a guy doing a cool thing on a bike. It's fine. You know?
That's fair. That's fair.
It is a cool poster.
Also,
Weird how
like-
they're getting that poster out there though, because you have to go see Transformers 1, and I think they did that because they know that people aren't going to go see that movie otherwise.
I don't know. I think this could be quite a popular one. From what I've heard, it is kind of the movie Transformers fans want, but at the same
Like a
time,
cartoon.
as someone with no skin in the game who doesn't really care about Transformers, why do they have those Thomas the Tank Engine looking faces?
For expression, probably.
No, but
'Cause,
like, could
the
they
old
not find
Transformers
another?
movies just
I don't know. I just
hardly
don't find
see
them.
anything they were doing.
I don't find them super appealing to look at, just as an outsider. I don't know. I feel like they maybe could have executed that differently, but I don't know. Like, just as someone who has no skin in the game, I want to know if I'm alone in that. Like, again, outsider. As the general audience, everyone knows I'm the one they've got to impress. Like, it's Sonic.
Oh, I see what you mean now. I actually haven't seen anything from this yet, but I mean, these faces are more along the lines of what the cartoons looked like, so I
They
assume
look a
that's why
little
people are
cutesy than the
happy with it.
cartoon, though.
Yeah, that's fine, because the Michael Bay ones, like, literally, I was watching those movies, like, I think I saw 2 of them, maybe 3. Whatever one, which one had Mark Wahlberg? Does anyone know?
I think all of them did.
No, I don't think so, because the first 2 or something had Shia LaBeouf, but I watched at least one with Shia LaBeouf and one with Mark Wahlberg, and, literally, all the robots, it's like, they had different, like, I don't know, like, okay, I guess this is a me problem too, because like I have problems in movie theaters because I have really bad peripheral vision. So keeping up with some action on screen is difficult, and it was impossible for me to tell what was happening in most of those robot fights. Like I just literally could not tell, like which character was, like I should have been rooting for. If that makes sense. Like they just all looked so like shiny and chromatic and stuff that I was like, I think that's Optimus.
Oh,
You
there
know,
was a
like,
lot of
he
visual
has the
noise
sword
going on
now.
there. Like, from
You know,
what
so
I've
like
seen,
I think that's him.
there's a lot of.
But this one looks like you're able to tell who they are, you know, which is cool. Like you can definitely tell who's who in all these pictures I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's a problem with Michael Bay's. Just a lot of Michael Bay stuff really is, there's a lot of visual vomit. Like another great example of that is like the first Venom in the fight between Venom and Riot. It is really hard to keep track of which symbiote is which.
That's another one. Yeah, because it was dark also on
Yeah,
screen.
it's dark. You got a symbiote that's silver and a symbiote that's black, and it's like they're just oozing around and shit. It's like, which one is which now? Like, I can see why that would be a difficulty. Also, if you don't really have peripheral vision, would going to the cinema and sitting next to people not be the scariest fucking thing ever? Because you have no idea when someone might be about to strike.
I have, I have peripheral vision. It's just reduced.
But that's still, like, if you can only see the screen and you cannot detect the people next to you, that's got to be like a game of survival. Like,
well, it's especially bad if it's dark. Like, it's even worse if it's dark. So technically, like, people have, like, turned lights off, and I've been like, someone hold my hand, please. Not because I'm scared, I can't see.
and now it's like,
I'm gonna walk through this shit.
brother, Wait.
Hold my hand in the way of, like, lead me to where I need to go, because I'm gonna walk into something and I'm gonna get hurt.
I actually had someone need me to hold their hand once. I did do it, and I didn't make jokes.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure they appreciated that.
And when it comes down to it, I won't make jokes. But,
Yeah.
see, I'm such a good guy, guys. I'm such a good...
Yeah.
Say review code now. So...
Send me a review code.
He's a good guy. He has to tell you how much of a good guy he is.
But does it make it any less... Like, if... Never mind, just forget. This is a tangent again.
Well,
I want to...
as Ken Penders once said, no one else is going to toot your horn, so you might as well. Wise words from the wisest man, I would say.
That sounds like a man that's never had a hand job. But, would you...
Sounds like a transition.
Yeah, Ian, like, this is actually kind of
shit.
ideal now, because this is the subject now. So would you like to begin this?
Yes, I'm glad my transition worked. So,
Yeah, that was good. That was slick.
Congratulations, Mrs.
thank you.
Waffles.
To not to toot my so anyway, so yeah, Ken Penders, he mentioned
on stream.
Absolutely. I think I literally could if I got the sound.
Oh god, I'm edging. Oh god.
Oh yeah,
so
so Ken Penders, he talked about how he was going to reprint all the old Archie issues. How he can do that, we're leave that up in the air to the lawyers to decide. But he was gonna reprint all of old Archie. And so, I was fully on board. I'm like, hey, Sega and Archie are never gonna be. Archie literally can't do it, and Sega's never going to. So if someone's gonna be able to sell these old Archie issues to where people aren't gonna have to pay an arm and a leg just to get them because they are ridiculous prices. If you ever want to like physically own them, I was like, this is great, and he said he's gonna make like omnibuses and like kind of collect them. So I was fully on board. But there was always something in the back of my mind of when they re-released Archie issues in the archive format, which is something that Archie officially did, they changed a lot of the coloring. They tried to make it kind of have more gradients to it to kind of match more of the modern stuff. And a lot of those old stories weren't made with that in mind. They were made with more flat colors and stuff like that. And so while it doesn't look terrible, it's not the original, which is, the reason you would want to preserve these stories is you want to see what were these kids reading back in the 90s or in the early 2000s. Like, I want to see the original stories, even if, they're not going to be as like, up to date or whatever as what we have now. That's why you would want to read them, Oh yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to quickly say this is the equivalent of like more recent like Blu-ray releases when they always like mess with the color grading.
Oh yeah, like
for sure.
I think Tim Burton movies and Ridley Scott movies are always victim to that.
Yeah, this is just what it reminds me of.
Batman 89
well, that's perfect.
has been absolutely scorched in Blu-ray releases, and people didn't even notice until people started digging up their VHSs again. But yeah, Batman 89 absolutely butchered the overall vibe of that movie, and we didn't even notice.
Yeah. Well, this is perfect. So that was the thing we were worried about. But Ken has decided that he's going to go a step further. He's going to George Lucas this because sure, people want to read these old issues, but that's not good enough. He can make them better. And so what he has decided to do is he has hired an artist to completely redraw and recolor all of these issues that he wants to do. So he has released on his Twitter different versions of, Knuckles or Sonic the Hedgehog issue 13, which is the first appearance of Knuckles. And yeah, he has completely redrawn, had it redrawn, recolor palettes, to where now it kind of looks like more of a modern Sonic comic. Tails is not in his Sad AM design. Sonic has more of like his game blue. The colors match more of the environment of Angel Island rather than their interpretation of Angel Island.
Like my observation is, it looks a bit more like the classic stories from IDW.
From IDW, yeah.
I'm going to
For sure.
actually pull up a comparison on screen for the
Okay,
viewers
good.
of the show that aren't listed. So all right. So
Oh, but wait, they might say that we're pirating it.
fuck.
But so I guess to give the discussion off to everybody, I just wanted to say that some people obviously like this because they're like, oh, now I can read these old stories, but they don't look like crappy old stuff. And then you have people like me who go, that's not why I wanted these to exist. I wanted to, be able to read the old stories. Yeah, I want to actually read the old, like if I wanted to read a fan, color change or whatever, I would do that. But he's also going to be charging for these. And I don't want to pay for some crappy redone color version. I want the original stories. Otherwise, why are you doing this? So now I can pass it off to everyone else. What do you think?
So I just put on screen. On the left is the old version, in case you couldn't tell. On the right is the new version. And I will say, it is nice to see new artwork of Sally Acorn. But to be fair, you can see that on the pages of the old IDW, or the old Archie artists on Twitter anyway. So, like, yeah, it's no biggie. I'm in two minds. On one hand, it's kind of cool to get something new, I guess, in a way. But that's not why you're buying it. That and, God, we are getting very dubious in the legality department. And, fuck it. Someone else can speak. I'm doing a brain fart. I don't know what I want to say.
I guess. Well, when I saw the new art, I'm a fan of how some of the old comics look. Obviously, I don't have as much of a history with them, and I haven't read them, but I do really like the brightness of the new comics. And if they are going to re-release these things, and there's that questionable legal nature of doing so, I think redrawing the entire thing probably makes it a little bit better in that regard.
Because it means you're making a new product. Also, that is an Angel Island sprite. I've just noticed that on the screen.
No, he just used the sprite.
That seems like stealing still, so
what the
I don't know if they can do that.
But I will say, he hired an artist, he didn't use AI, so therefore he is a hero.
There you go. But yeah, no. Here's the thing. I just think it looks worse. I really don't like the idea of oh yeah, here's their little base, our freedom fighter base. So is it going to be colorful or have kind of these different things to accent different characters? No, it's just all gray.
You make a good point.
Here's a little gray now, isn't it? Here's a little circle with Rotor. Are we going to contrast his color of the purple? Nah, just make it dark blue because we're in the dark room. Oh yeah, Tails. Is he going to look like Sad AM Tails? Because this is based off Sad AM and this was what it was like at the time. Whatever. Just update it to modern Tails. There you go. It's fine.
Sally is also genuinely more on model in the old one.
It just looks worse. I just think it looks terrible. I hate the bubblegum colors. Yeah, I just hate the bubblegum colors of it all. It looks awful.
It looks a little more it just loses a lot of its charm that the original seems to have.
Well, also the originals, obviously, again, flat colors, as you can see, but also just more earthy colors. Obviously, the version you have to the left here, it's a scan, so it's not a perfect one-to-one. You can literally see the paper kind of bleeding into itself.
Yeah.
I'm okay with going away from earthy colors because that was actually one of my criticisms of Archie way back when, before I understood Archie, was that it was always a bit too earthy. And Sonic has never been very earthy. Sonic has always been kind of a bit more Art Deco. But
the planet's called Mobius.
Right. But Archie and Sad AM are just not Sonic. So
yeah, it's not.
And
it's still Sonic. It's a different Sonic. But
and their aesthetic is very earthy. So
that was the thing though for me with Sad AM as well. I was it's a little too earthy. But that being said, I still feel that way about Archie, despite coming around to Archie as well. That's a post reboot Archie. I think actually did much better with that. But it does feel.
It's definitely going for more colorful. Yeah.
This new version does feel more archetypical. It does feel more in line with your typical canon Sonic media now. God, it is weird though how Sally and classic Sonic are in completely different art styles in both versions. Sonic being a fat little dude with noodle limbs, and Sally being a naked lady.
Indeed. And then you have Antoine, who's fully clothed, who hides pants. But yeah, no. But yeah, no, I do. True, but yeah, I think just in general. I mean, this doesn't affect me because I own all the issues physically, but I do think it sucks that it's like, yeah, no. So we literally aren't just ever going to get reprints of these, like for real. Because if this is what he's going to do for all of it, then no, you're just never going to get to read the original stories. I mean, and you could just look at it, regardless of whether you like one or the other. They both just have completely different vibes, different feels to it, and different personality, just based on how the characters look.
It hasn't preserved it,
kind of
what it needed to do, you know, like.
Yeah, so no, Archie's still not going to be preserved. You're still going to have to like sell your leg and your arm, you know, and sucks to suck. I guess that's what you have to deal with. So, which I think is bad. Yeah, pretty much.
I will say on the old version, Sally's nose in the top panel looks extra boopable.
She also has bigger eyes, and she looks cute.
She does. She does.
So, but yeah, so I just thought I'd bring that up because it's a new development no one's really talking about. And yeah, so, you know, unfortunately, you still cannot buy old Archie Sonic. Womp womp. Ken is, you know, it was fun to meme like Ken, but now I just have to dislike Ken like everybody else. So
that was the one. Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I feel like not republishing them and actually like remaking them feels more like it should be against the legality of it as well. Yeah, because it's creating new content effectively.
Yeah, with Sonic.
Before it was like, oh, we don't know if we have a stake in this. It was done at a time when Archie held the license and everything, and it was published by actual license holders before. And this could just be a republication of that, which is a little dubious. But what they're effectively doing is selling brand new Sonic media.
New stuff.
Yeah, no, actually, you're right. I take back what I said before.
That's okay.
I think redrawing it makes it more of plagiarism.
Yeah, the classic design of Tails, or like the modern design of Tails, the yellow one, was not in this issue, and they have now effectively taken modern Tails, which is not theirs and was not in this original issue, and they have put him in here. That's like selling a fan comic for money at that point, you know?
Could Archie not sue him for plagiarism?
I have no idea what Archie
theoretically, like,
I don't know.
It really depends. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
The thing is, like, also, like, Ian is kind of putting a lot of artists in hot water by doing this as well, because they're all involved in it now, you know?
Yeah, but it's...
it would ultimately fall onto him, but I do worry about, like, any potential repercussions for the artists that might be
blacklisting or whatever.
Yeah, stuff like that.
That's the unfortunate part, but it's also like sometimes it's better not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah,
well,
so
it's
not a
even,
fan.
It's not even a legal thing. It's just the fact that now you have people who are associated with this work who, like, if this all kind of goes to shit and you don't get these remastered comics, they will probably not. They probably won't have many jobs afterwards because it's like, oh yeah, you guys were a part of this one. So it's like,
yeah, exactly. So it's a huge risk.
This
in
is
that
effectively
sense.
the Sonic Origins classic mode of the Archie comics.
I was gonna say the Sonic Colors Ultimate.
I mean, the thing is, Sonic Colors Ultimate wasn't claiming to be the with classic mode. It was like, we swear this is the originals, guys, and it wasn't.
Oh, okay. I see where you're getting at with it. All right, yeah. You know what? That makes a lot of sense. That is a fucking lie. 2 years later, I'm still mad about it.
I mean, yeah, I think they fucking shot themselves in the foot by advertising it like that. Like, I wouldn't have fucking said anything if they'd just be like, yeah, look at these anniversary versions. Ooh.
And the only thing classic about it, or original about it, is that they have lives, which
and
don't
the aspect
really matter.
ratio, which could have just been a toggle.
Guess.
That could have all just been a toggle.
The aspect ratio is 4:3. If you want me to get super technical about it, I will, but I'm not going to do it now.
Also, like, what if you want to have lives, but you want to play in 16:9? Ah, fuck it. That's the old conversation.
You're not allowed to have that customization, pup.
It's not like an options menu is a thing, is it? You have that for the fucking
they have an options
letterbox
menu.
You could choose your letterbox, but you can't choose to have... Nope. Origins
I
is
can
done.
choose to pay to be able to zoom in.
I'm gonna send Pup down this tangent. I'm gonna do it. Pup, they have an options menu that they have to update once in a
Frank,
while,
come
so
on,
you can
know
have
how
things.
easy it is to send me down the fucking river when it comes to tangents. Take advantage of that, man. That's dishonorable.
Well, this is also a game that I feel very strongly about as well, so
Well, you know
that's
what?
why I was willing to do
Let's
it.
have an episode about remasters, remakes, and stuff at some point in the future.
Oh, let's fucking do it. I'm down.
Okay, we'll
It'll
do
be
it.
fun.
Do it. We'll do Adventure DX. We'll do Origins, Colors Ultimate, all of it.
Okay. That
There
sounds
you go.
Do we also cover Sonic Jam?
Yeah, we can do.
Oh.
And ages.
Absolutely.
You know, we could even compartmentalize it. Do one on the
Ooh.
classics. You know, like.
I'm gonna love talking about ages because, sure, call it glazing. I don't care. It's that good.
All right.
Alrighty. But yeah, that's all I had to say for that.
Sorry, I read chat. Just buy Sonic Origins Plus Deluxe exclusive to PS5 Pro in a few years. Not guaranteed
Final
to run at
chapter
60
prologue.
FPS.
Complete with AI upscale. That thing that Dylan got fucking harassed over.
Oh god.
Okay,
It
okay,
doesn't
okay.
matter anymore. I don't give a shit.
Here's the thing. If it's for just... Actually, no.
Just
That's
for
going
a
to sound
funny
very
little fan
hypocritical.
project, I was just making HD textures for a video game. Like no one else was gonna do that.
If
Like,
it's
I didn't
non-generative,
feel anyone's
who fucking cares? Like,
It was upscaling. Yeah.
yeah. But I will
God,
say,
okay,
for $700
I-
bucks, I want my games running in native 1,000,000K. All right.
I wanted to make a comment about like, oh yeah, like if it's for something fan related, it's not really a big deal. And then I realized that a video that I'm working on, I actually call out the graphics for looking like they're AI upscaled.
Well, they were
In the video,
though.
there's a point to it. For this discussion, yeah, it's not a big
See, in
deal.
that case, I'm not gonna say like they shouldn't have done it, but like it's just it made it look worse. Like,
I was
we
gonna say,
showed
you're
them
just saying
before
it
and
looks
after.
bad.
Ugh,
Yeah.
someone
Yeah, it
outside
looks
my
bad.
window has used way too much aftershave. Smell it from up
So
here.
so really
What are they
quick,
doing
so that way
shaving
I'm
outside
not.
your window?
So I guarantee that
Idiots.
nothing that I'm saying is getting taken out of context. The fan game that I'm looking at, they claim that it's a definitive edition, but it looks like it's all AI upscaled, and they have a legacy edition that actually looks really good. Like the sprites are properly scaled up, and everything just looks clean.
Are they
But
like
the
claiming
definitive
it's
edition
like?
looks like it's all smeared.
Are the AI upscaled ones like claiming that this is the better version?
Yes,
Okay, that's justified.
it's claimed to be the definitive edition, and then there's a legacy edition that actually looks really good. But it's all from assets that already exist.
Everyone just needs to learn Blender. It's a great tool. It's a gift from artists for artists.
Okay, here's the thing.
Too
I
lazy.
would if I was an artist, but I am not. I do not have that in my skill set.
Everybody in the world needs to learn Blender. Everybody, whether you're an artist or not. Why? Because
Do I really
you
have
can
to learn Blender?
because you can become a god with Blender.
I just want to be a man. I don't want to be a god.
That's so aim higher,
I'm just
you
a-
absolute lurch. But
I'm okay with I'm okay with meeting in the middle, being a man with a god complex.
God man. Okay, we've got a bit more. We've got a bit more to discuss today before we move on to Super Chat. Still keeping in theme with comics. So, we did get a preview of the upcoming IDW Sonic issue, and there was something that stood out to me as a bit peculiar. And I want to state that none of my critiques here are geared up against the artists or authors of this comic because they are working within restrictions. And that's what I'm talking about now, is that there's a big splash page of Surge catching up to a tram truck in what looks like San Francisco, but isn't. It looks like San Francisco, but it says Westopolis. Okay, so we know it's Westopolis.
Westopolis.
Westopolis, yes. And aboard the tram is entirely animal people, and walking the streets is entirely animal people. Now, in the IDW Sonic comics, we have also visited Spagonia, another human territory, which you didn't see anyone. You saw only silhouettes of nondescript little shapes, but you didn't see anyone. Ian Flynn has said on Bumblecast that right now humans are off limits, but one thing I will say is, on one hand,
We saw what happened to Nate Morgan.
Yeah, we remember. We're not forgetting about Nate Morgan for starts. Secondly, though, just what Westopolis is quite explicitly a human territory in the games. Like we saw in Shadow the Hedgehog, there were dudes there, there was gun and everything. Now it's an animal world. And it's like also it's San Francisco. So are we saying that City Escape is Westopolis? But okay, so here's the thing.
Wow, that's kind of confusing, actually.
We had the very first Tales Tube episode decided to finally clarify how Sonic's world. Okay, Tales Tube episode 1 released I think it was 2022. I think, 2022. Tales Tube episode 1 releases before Sonic Frontiers, quite a bit before Sonic Frontiers, and he says, "Oh yeah, the way things work is there's human territories and there's animal territories. You know, there's the animal islands and the human territories. We've made that distinction now. Sega have basically gone out of their way to say, yeah, this is how Sonic's world works. Yeah, that's why Sonic Forces animal populated, Sonic Unleashed human populated. But now IDW is in a position where they have to show Westopolis and it's populated by animal people. They show Spagonia and it's populated by shadows. So it's like, what was the point of that Tales Tube? Because that's the thing is, a lot of us were looking at Tales Tube at the time of like, Sega are reinforcing what this world is all about. Sega are finally giving us answers to what these are going to be going forward. But now 2 years later, it's still clear as mud. So this is something I wanted to kind of discuss.
Ago? The first Tales Tube was 2 years ago? Are you saying that?
Yeah, March 2022.
Holy shit.
Tails playing PUBG.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That seems like not very long ago.
Tails' canon cleanup has so far amounted to absolute dick all. And I've seen some people be like, oh, maybe the games want to do that. Maybe they're waiting for the games to do that first. But it's like, why can't the game team and the comic team communicate? Why can't Sega be like, these are our humans for the next game. This is what you can work with. Because I just think it's one thing. I already think Sonic as a world and everything and these characters are infinitely less interesting without humanity in the backdrop. I just think in an animal populated world, Sonic is less interesting. But it's one thing to then be like, yeah, this is this area that was explicitly a human territory in Shadow the Hedgehog. Now it's populated by fucking Winnie the Pooh people. Like, I don't know.
But where's the president?
Yeah, but like, what is are we gonna meet the president and he's a fucking lamb? You know, like there's Sonic Riders.
We should make the president a dog as a reference to Dragon Ball. That'd be cool.
But like, we've also had like a Sonic Riders.
I'm not saying it's racist to call the president a son of a bitch.
We've also had a Sonic Riders arc, and it's been populated entirely by animals. And don't get me wrong, I've loved seeing some of these animal designs in the background and some of the places they've taken inspiration. Like, I enjoy these OCs as much as the next guy, but I don't know, as someone who got back into this franchise with Unleashed, it does feel like a bit of a slap in the face to not only disregard that world that we set up, but to keep saying, look, there's a picture of Professor Pickle in Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, and we got Tales Tube suggesting, oh, that we're gonna factor this in, and then just never do anything. And it's like, every time it's wait for the games to do it, it never happens. Like, well, Chow Garden, wait for Adventure 3, it's never gonna happen.
It almost
well,
feels
also
like
just like
went extinct or something.
Yeah. Well, also just like screw the games. Like just let the comics do anything because they're in a stranglehold because of the games. Well, this is like when people talk about like this is like when people talk about like oh, hey, wouldn't it be cool if like the comics could explore like Silver's future that we have
we're gonna
get
onto that as well. That's
okay.
That's on the weed.
Yeah. Well, then I'll wait.
Don't worry, it'll get rolled up soon.
There you go. But yeah, just in general, just like the games having the stranglehold of the comics has clearly just not helped it at all. It's just resulted in worse products for the comics pretty much in general because they are so restrained. And I don't care what the games are doing at this point because the games aren't doing anything. They're not making games. So, at least they're not making games that are addressing these things that fans have waited forever for,
There's also one thing I just quickly want to touch on from the chat. So Gunner or Gun Threa does make a good point of like there is a discrepancy of we don't want humans in the movies versus where are the humans, Sega. And yeah, I can understand why that's a conclusion that you might reach. My angle on it, anyway, just if we're going fully nuanced, is I do think Sonic is more fun in a world where humans do exist. I would. The main thing is just with the movies, it's not get rid of the humans for me. It's stop having to justify the Sonic characters. It's that the humans shouldn't take precedence over the Sonic characters. We shouldn't have to not have Amy Rose in the story because we've set it in a human world, and now we have to justify that. You know, I'd much rather we have like
Also,
go on, sorry.
Also, for like what 11 years, we've had humans in the Sonic world, starting from like Sonic Adventure it's probably like 12 years, from Adventure all the way until Sonic Unleashed. Like there have been humans in the Sonic world,
Jam
and
even.
as of Sonic Colors, they've vanished.
Sonic Jam even started that kind of trend in a way because you've got the Man of the Year short film that was in there.
Well, I mean like directly in the game.
Well, like,
I
it
don't
is
know.
in
I don't
the
know
game,
if I
though, isn't it? Like Man of the Year.
Yeah, but it's not like you could go through a hub world and find a human there. That's what I mean.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, yeah, like that's the thing is like, yeah, I wasn't complaining with how Sonic Adventure did it, and I wasn't complaining with how Sonic Unleashed did it. I tell you where I did complain. I didn't complain about it much with Sonic 1 because I kind of knew what to expect. Sonic 2, yeah, when the wedding scene came in, yeah, but everything else I was more or less fine with. Knuckles is where I had a fucking problem with it because the humans were the main fucking thing. Who fucking cares? Go on.
Week
Oh, yeah.
512 of Knuckles show coverage.
What I was going to say is also as an example of, kind of the nuance you were talking about is like, now let's just remove Sonic and let's talk about like Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is a world where like talking dinosaurs and talking animals and like humans live, and then like the Z Fighter anime characters. So what we're basically saying is like, it is fun to have all those things living together as like background or as like flavor or like, oh, hey, we're hanging out with a human character or a dinosaur character, whatever. But it would be really lame if Dragon Ball decided, you know what? We're going to focus on just like the dog president and only the dog people and all the dinosaurs and like Z fighters and humans and androids and all that stuff. Like that's just, we mentioned those things
We've
existed.
moved on.
Like that's what it's talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the distinction.
No, I agree.
It also for me
That
depends.
definitely makes sense to me. Also, if humans never appeared in the games or movies or anything again, I wouldn't have a problem with it, to be honest. I don't give a shit.
I mean, also, like, for me, I do want to see, like, humans just as part of the backdrop. But, like, for me, it's more a conversation about how interesting is your world. If it's in a world that, like the world we're presented with in Sonic Unleashed, for example, like, it's still an abstract Sonic world. It's clearly taken inspiration from our own world. You've got humans in there, but also there's the implication that, stuff like Green Hill Zone exists somewhere in this world and stuff like that. It depends how interesting the world is. The problem with the movies was they were just like, Sonic's from another world. That gives us an excuse to make the world he spends the movies in as boring as possible. Hey, you like Ice Cap Zone? It's a ski resort now.
I mean, technically, it was still an ice mountain they were on. It's just like there was also a ski resort.
It's a bad example because you did technically get Ice Cap in Sonic 2. But, like, it's...
For a city called Green Hills, I did not see one green hill.
One thing I was thinking was,
it was all flat.
You know what would make a wonderful compromise for me would be if Green Hills, you could just see the cliffs in the background had checkerboards on them, and they had palm trees going down the streets. That would be enough for me. If you could maybe see a loop-de-loop.
And oversized flowers.
Yeah, and they have the flower, and maybe you could see like a loop-de-loop on top of it. Then you could still have...
No. That was in Sonic's world, just not
It
in the human
was,
world.
I know, but it should be in this one, I think. If you're going to spend the whole time there, then it should be in this one. Maybe have them do a chaos control or something and merge the two worlds.
They need to talk to their government officials then. Make that happen. Come on, we need.
better paint the checkerboards on the fucking cliffs, guys.
No, we don't have enough budget for that this year. Sorry.
Sonic has to run right next to the president's car.
There's all kinds of things because like the Chaos Emeralds exist, so you can have a big merge of worlds, and it's like, oh look, it's just like his home. Oh look,
you gotta get him back, but some little kid closes the portal.
Closes it on his foot. He can no longer run.
Only his foot goes back.
Yeah, but yeah, humans as part of Sonic's backdrop is a-okay, and I think especially when like Tails Tube made such a point of being like, this is how the world works, I kind of resent them just kind of going back on that, and I don't think it should be treated as the games are the tippity top and everything else must bow to them, because here's the thing: is Sonic's comics are stories, and story-wise in the games we are still not there yet. We made some progress with Ian Flynn's script for Sonic Frontiers, but storytelling in the Sonic games has never been good enough to influence comics to a restrictive extent, you know? Like, influence comics is in, like, you can have the Sonic and the Big Cheese story arc, but not, like, you know, you can't do this because the games might do that in the year 2098, you know?
Why do you need to follow why do you have to follow the games to a T? Seriously, like, the comics are allowed to be their own thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, there's just no reason why there can't be, like, a communication between the games and the comics to which they can say, hey, yeah, you can do these humans. They're going to be like this in the game, so if you want to do them like that, that will, you know, give you a nice sense of cohesion. It's almost like fucking Skype existed, like, what, 20 years ago?
Everyone's using Zoom in the professional world.
You gotta Zoom.
You gotta Slack everyone.
How it is. Alright, so, yeah, so Evan Stanley responded to something on Twitter. That sounds amazing. But, like, yes, so someone was basically kind of saying that they don't like the current representation of Silver as kind of this naive little marshmallow of a man, basically. And kind of said, like, you know, how come we've never explored the doomed future? And Evan Stanley actually weighed in saying, we're not allowed to explore Silver's future in any kind of detail. I can only speak for myself, but I personally very much care. So that has now put it out there that, yeah, IDW are not allowed to explore Silver's future. And it has spurred some discussion about that, and I figured we could have our own discussion about that, you know?
Yeah, I've got a lot to say about Silver.
Go for it.
Well, first I was just fact checking something. Did Evan Stanley write the arc of the Archie comics where Silver was being focused on back before Archie got canceled? Was that Evan Stanley?
Yeah, she made Ghost of the Future. Yeah.
Well, no, that I know that, but like in the actual Archie comics, there is like a
yes, she wrote that. Yeah, she wrote that in Reboot.
Okay, cool. So that's what I was gonna say. So first off, also, sorry, I'm not sure. Did they go by she or they or?
It's she.
I just want to make sure I'm getting that right.
I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Oh, I was getting confused with Gigi because I remember Gigi shared something about a non-binary Sonic character.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
correctly.
Good idea.
Anyway, yes. So the fact that these mandates exist in the way that is blocking people who love these characters and want to give them more stories and flesh them out more is like really upsetting to me, because when Evan Stanley was writing, I'm going to say, I read a lot of Ghost of the Future. That was her fan comic from a long time ago. Like, that was awesome. I thought that was a super cool comic. And it did delve into a lot of the future aspects of Silver. Like, it gave him, like, a whole new backstory, a whole new timeline to play around in, new characters. Very fun. If you haven't read Ghost of the Future, check that out wherever it is. Might be on, like, DeviantArt or something. I don't know. But in this Silver Age thing, that I think it was called the Silver Age. I don't know why that keeps popping up in my brain. But they were detailing this amazing, like, area, like this amazing new facet for Silver, where like this was not really a doomed future. It was just a future where things were still kind of shitty, because, like, you know, let's say the freedom fight never really ends, and Silver was kind of on his own, just sort of fighting the good fight in little ways, like helping out where he could, trying not to make much use of his powers because he didn't want to draw attention to himself, but still trying to help people. And then they go into this whole thing where they bring in Dr. whatever his face from, like, the Sonic cartoon. Does anyone know the name of that character? Dr. something. Is like a blue guy with orange hair.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I just can't think of his name.
Oh, here it is. Oh no, okay. Friends and allies. I'm on the wiki right now. They bring Professor von Schlemmer. They bring in this character to act as almost like a guy in the chair for him. Like they teach him some things. They get him to try and focus more on like being a hero and using his powers for good. Then you have Gold the Tenrec, who is a very interesting match for Silver in the fact that she's also got like telekinetic based powers. Like I think she had like some kind of, I don't really remember what her powers were, but I know it was something along the line of that. And their designs matched really well, and I think that they were like a solid team. And the three of them together then had this thing going on where these wormholes were popping up, and they were leading to different times and different places. Also, I think actually Mammoth Mogul was like Silver's like a mentor or something, which is kind of interesting. So what I'm trying to get at is they gave Evan Stanley so much free reign to just make this incredible new backstory for Silver, and I think she's gotten the closest to anyone else who's ever worked with this character to making him actually work as a character and concept. Because as he is now in the games and in comics, he is literally just a flashing red light that shows up whenever something is bad in the future. And that sucks. Like, that means he can never have a role that is more important than, guys, there's something going on in the future and we need to change this right now. Or like, I need to find this traitor right now. And it's like, can't we just like get rid of some of this shit and just like, I don't even feel like they care about Silver at all. So why have mandates about him? Like, they're not putting him in the games. He wasn't like even supposed to, like, people didn't even want him to be in forces. Like, they shoved him in there probably because it was just like, I don't know, more characters, better, I guess. And it's like, I just really wish
it
could
might mess with the
have-
future.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's just, oh, the future's bad, okay? And it's like, okay, thanks, now you're here. But, like, in this other thing, he was gonna be sent, I think these portals were sending people through time, and Silver got thrown through them. And that's why he was a time traveler. Like, it wasn't intentional for once. This was like I just got displaced in time. So now that's like a whole new adventure for him. Like, he could have whole new motivations. I want to get home. I need to go home for this reason. I can still help here, because it's what I want to do. It's what I was taught to do, and I like helping. They don't have enough for that character. And, like, I think a lot of characters suffer in that same way. Like, they really, like, we need someone to be, like, a little moody, they bring Shadow in. Nowadays, we are getting better lore for Shadow, of course. But, like, before, for a while, it was like, oh, we need, like, you know, a little bit of edge in this scene. So Shadow's gonna show up for 12 seconds and kick clone Shadow, and then that's basically his entire contribution to forces. It sucks. I think mandates, within reason, can make sense. But if it's like, you can't explore this character's backstory, you can't explore this character's personality past a few traits, then he's not a character. He is like just a little thing that stands there and makes funny faces.
Because we might
the most.
do it in 10 years.
Well, that's okay.
It's
so
stupid.
without like trying to put anyone on blast, I know that author of the Scrapnik Island comic, Daniel Barnes, actually weighed in and kind of said this all seems pretty normal, because Sega probably want to do that themselves in a game. That's the kind of concept they'd explore in a game. And
They're not gonna do that.
well, what I'll say is that's never going to happen, and if that happens, I will literally drink sodium acetate, which is hot ice, and if you touch it, it feels like literal fire. LA Beast did a video where he stuck his hand in it, and he screamed. So if they ever make a game that explores Silver's future, and I don't mean Sonic X Shadow Generations, because that game kind of would explore Silver's future with Crisis City. No. If they make a game that explores Silver's future beyond just Crisis City, I will literally drink hot ice. Disclaimer, I'm not going to actually do that. But, like, that's just insurance, dude. That's just insurance. It's never going to happen. Ever.
Well, and let's say it happened.
There won't be.
Yeah, go ahead, Dylan.
I was just putting my 2 cents in the ring. Like, if they wanted to do that, I feel like they would have been giving him more, like, credit by now. You know, like, he would have been more than, like, like I said, like a blinking red light to tell people that something's wrong.
I want a year
How old
of
is Sonic
Silver,
06?
I want a year of Silver.
I would too. I would like that.
They've not done anything with Silver for like over a decade. Like it's too late.
We will get it when they decide to remaster not Sonic 06, but Sonic Rivals.
Rivals.
Don't say that.
I was gonna say Sonic Lost World. Just give him a game that's got nothing to do with him.
But also, Silver is the perfect example of how stupid this is, because Silver's whole thing is that his backstory constantly changes. Like in Rivals, he doesn't have the same backstory. In 06, he doesn't have the same backstory. In any Sonic comic, he doesn't have the same backstory. So you know what's fun about Silver is that you guys don't give a shit about any of his backstory. You change it constantly without any regard for anything that came before. So hey, let's take advantage of that. Let the comics do their own version of changing the backstory, since they already gave him a good future, which you didn't do in the games, at least in the version that they're making, because it's from the virus or whatever. Who cares? It's Silver. None of it matters. Just let them do whatever.
You know what this tells me is that if Sega owned the rights to Batman, there would be no Batman Beyond, because this could literally be Sonic's Batman Beyond. Like,
or Brave and the Bold.
They didn't let them make that Batman Beyond movie, so there kind of isn't.
I mean, it's Warner Bros. I mean, like, just the very notion of Batman Beyond wouldn't exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, Warner Brothers is a whole different kettle of fish.
And, you know, also just to be a little mean, I think if Sega did explore Silver's future, it'd be bad and it would suck. So just let the comic do it.
You're right.
Like,
it would just be
you
like
think,
a normal
I
place with like fire everywhere again.
I mean, actually,
you think
they kind of have in Sonic Colors on the Nintendo DS, they meet Silver in Sweet Mountain. And they ask Silver, how's the future looking now? And he's like, oh, it's even more vibrant and wonderful than this place.
Well, there you go.
Nice.
The most bare bones nothing ever. Great.
Yeah, no wonder he's a little marshmallow now. But that's another point, though. If the future keeps changing, should Silver not be different every time he pops up? Like, imagine if, like, one issue is like, Sonic, he comes out dressed like a fucking Mad Max character. He's like, Sonic, dude, you need to abolish all metals from the world because this is getting out of hand.
You need to remove metal from the earth?
Yeah, or he comes out and he's like he comes out and he's really fat and he's like, dude, you need to get in touch with the FDA because things have gone wrong, man.
No, that's really funny, but that's like something I'd like to see in like a Mad Magazine sketch, I think. But like,
yeah, like a
in
sketch,
actuality, like, I think if he were to... Like, I think all the stuff with him, it's like, it's implied in the games, it's the same guy, except his, like, between 06 and Rivals, obviously, the timeline's been changed, so he's technically the same person, with the same, like, you know, ideas and stuff, but he's now got a different mission because the future's different. Then every time after that, it's implied to be the same guy, but the future changes around him? And, like, I don't understand how that works if nobody else in the future gets changed.
How could he tell?
How does that work?
Yeah, how can he tell that this isn't just, like, you know... Like, does he just wake up one morning and is like, oh, hell no. Because surely, like, he'd have no memory of the future being any different.
A giant electrical monster tearing up the Earth? Great, that's awesome, going back.
That's just always been there, though. Like, that would be so funny if Silver, like, popped his head through. He's like, Sonic, help me. And so he's like, look, dude, what if it's meant to be like that? Like, what if it's for the best? You keep tampering with time. You're very irresponsible. Have you never watched Back to the Future? Like, come off it, idiot.
Well, and that just shows how little it matters. Yeah.
Like,
so yeah.
Sonic's like, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. The world has a freaking deity crisis.
The only reason why Silver isn't treated as a super irresponsible guy for constantly meddling with time is because he's in the future. But brain boxes, the future is the present to him, so surely he should be viewed as a super irresponsible, unilateral madman. Can we just explore that? That would be fun. Like, should he? Should he tamper with the future? He lives in the worst timeline imaginable, he thinks. But then he goes back and defeats the evils, and he comes back, and it's like, oh god, it's worse.
Every time. Okay, that's actually funny. That's a funnier idea. Like, every time he thinks it's fixed. It's like Trunks. You know, when Trunks goes back, and he's like... Actually, you haven't watched Dragon Ball yet, so I'm not gonna say. But, like, Trunks is basically just Silver, except this same thing happens, where it's like, oh, things just got worse. Cool.
What if things were never getting worse, and... Or, like, we're not getting worse because of his actions?
It would... I tell you what would actually be amazing, though. Would kind of... I'm basically pitching the Flash here, but basically, he keeps going back and changing things to try and make the timeline better, and then he realizes it's no use. It's no use trying to change the past. He's got to deal with the future. He's got to defeat the evils in the future, and that's like the big finale. Is like, you know what? This Iblis or whatever the fuck, he's here to stay. So rather than try and prevent him, let's fucking kill him. And then that's like the
Introduce
message.
him to Facebook Marketplace.
And that's it.
Yeah, sells him
That's
a
what he
shit
does
thing.
in Sonic 06. He goes back to the future and he kills Iblis, and then Blaze goes, "Yeah, but I'm dead too. Sorry."
Yeah, but he still tries the whole, I gotta go back and shit. I mean, I don't know, just do 06 again. Just do that.
I'm sure they would love to. I'm sure Sega would love to do that.
I mean, they're
You-
doing that
you
in
know-
Sonic X Shadow Generations, to an extent.
We'll see. We'll see how that all turns out.
We got
I'm not
Kingdom
gonna-
Valley.
Not sure if that's like set in stone.
Black Doom is back.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not
back.
from Sonic 06.
Okay,
though, probably.
let's
He's
see what
from-
happens in the game.
Me.
I think Black Doom should he should
Stop pouting.
rewrite the timeline and make another Shadow the Hedgehog game. Give him guns again.
Dude, an advert just popped up, because I'm keeping an eye on the stream, and an advert just popped up with this perfume bottle, and the perfume bottle is purple, but it's got this clear sphere on the top of it, which is like the cap, and my immediate thought was, whoa, it's Mysterio.
Brain rot.
There you go.
Brain rottiest
Pup is
brain
on.
rot.
Pup is on that Fortnite brain rot.
It's not Fortnite brain rot. Mysterio has been my favorite comic book villain since
Yes, but
I played the PS1 Spider-Man game.
which one?
The PS1 one. The OG. Spider-Man
There's-
2000.
I think I've played that one.
Except I played it on the Mac. I was a Mac kid.
Oh
Who's on
oh god,
Mac?
I feel bad for you.
No, because the Mac version had the graphics of the I think it was the Dreamcast one, but with the full cutscenes. So like he had the webs on him and stuff, and you had the better Venom model and the Black
Just
Cat
the
that
movie
didn't.
game.
No, I'm not talking about the movie game. I'm talking about Spider-Man 2000. The one with Monster
PlayStation
Rock.
1 game?
Yeah, the one with Monster Rock at the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that one's cool. That's a cool game.
Dude, Monster Rock was frightening.
Yeah. He runs after you, yelling, "Dog!"
Yeah, he's like, oh my god!
I think I have played this one before. I don't know. I
Yeah,
remember
the
playing one
final
of the
boss is,
Spider-Man games on PS1.
It has a Stan Lee narration. The plot is like that Mysterio is impersonating Spider-Man. He steals Doc Ock's thing. Doc Ock puts fog in New York City and tries to control the symbiotes.
Yeah. That's why you can't go down to the street level, because it's like covered in fog and it'll kill you.
And Venom's
That's
hilarious.
an interesting way to get around the whole technical limitations of the PS1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I almost feel like maybe putting fog in games where popping's going to be a problem is a good idea.
Or have them fade in, as opposed to popping in.
Or just have them there anyway. We're in that era now. We can do that.
Well, I mean, you know, we're in that era, but some studios are not.
Yeah. Or at least you wouldn't know it. Well, are we all happy with today's discussion? Are we happy to wrap things up
Yeah,
with
I'm
the
good.
super chats?
Yeah, I think so.
One thing I want, I put it in the back rooms, but we were talking about the Akira slide.
Yes.
Technically, it's not possible, but there is a turn that is close enough to it, and it's called the elephant turn.
Okay.
One,
Okay.
yeah. So you can't actually do that and slide. I think you'd probably break your foot or something, or your leg. So
You can do it. It would just hurt.
I don't think it's physically possible to do it exactly how it's done in the movie, or any other kind of media that it's been replicated in. But this is about as close as you can get to it.
See.
Very cool.
All right. I will watch it after the show because I just know the audio is going to flash up and it will come on OBS. So, but
Yeah.
okay, let's begin with these super chats then. Dylan, you're up.
All right. So Sonic fan 1661 with the $2. They say,
You do's.
"Did
Done.
somebody say breeding? I'm in."
Wait, what?
I don't
Thank
remember
you,
when that
Sonic
was
fan
said. So.
1660. I think it's because
At
I
the very
mentioned.
beginning.
Yeah, there was a big breeding party going on in the Twitch
Oh.
because
okay.
they're multiplying. You said they were reproducing. Okay, Borker. KB. Good morning. Sends $9.99. I do hope we'd still be able to
Meters.
read. What? What was
Nothing.
that?
Nothing.
You best be on your best behavior, Franken. After last week's display. I do hope we'd still be able to read scanlations for the next chapters without Kokoro being Nintendo. Also, Windy's translations are fantastic. Not sure who Windy is, but I hope that. What's the best way I can say it without sounding like a pirate?
I hope that they
Yar.
find that it might be a good idea to, like, when the entire manga is finished, to release it worldwide.
Yeah, I hope that
Even if
we
they
will
have-
be able to read it. That's all.
It would be
yeah.
nice to read it in official capacity, or, like, through legitimate means, but unfortunately, if one of the things with piracy is that the reason that some people do it is that it's not accessible to them in their language, so sometimes they have to resort to this. So it's a very weird spot to be in.
You know what we should do if they do publish it?
Bully
We
them.
We should make a video. We should make a video called "Paying to Buy the Kokoro Shadow Manga," where we draw the money out at the ATM, and we go into the stores, all POV. We hand the dollars over, and we've all got one now. Send that
There you
to
go.
Coro Coro, and then they can sleep easy, knowing that their work has been paid for.
Oh, Wendy is the person who does all of those Japanese to English Sonic translations that pop up online.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
they're quite
I
good.
like those. They're great. Does Windy also do the Sonic X?
I think so.
I don't know.
Whoever does it,
I'm
thank
not
you.
sure.
Okay. Rankin.
Okay, but I'm not doing this in the voice.
Oh, come on, you gotta do it in the voice, man.
Oh wait, do you want me to do it?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I'd love to. Okay, Mr. Krabs, US $4.99, and
do.
they go. Arr, pup. Since I can't do that Wayne story I made with the OG cast was here, I'll tell you how it ends. So everything that happened was a dream.
Wayne will be really happy to know that.
I have
I
no
will
idea what
pa-
you're talking about.
I'm gonna pass the message on to him. I'm sure he'll be very happy to know that he didn't actually fuck Vector's wife. Thank you, Mr.
Good. I've been scrolling this whole time. I cannot find where the questions are.
It's in Super Chat mailbag.
Super chat mailbag.
Do I not have access to this?
You do not have access to that.
Hang on.
I see Music Zone, shit posting,
Wait,
Green Hill area.
It should be in Studiopolis production offices. And it should be just beneath the back rooms.
Here, what
Oh,
about
there it
that?
is. Well, it literally just appeared.
You've been in here
Yeah, I just gave
before.
you the Zeddy roll.
Well, I got a new account. Remember, I got hacked.
Oh, right.
that's-
yeah.
Oh,
that's
that's
true.
right.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Borker.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, Mr. Terry Chaos for €2. Thank you. Sonic
no,
is like his canon. What is it?
pounds.
Oh, euro. My bad.
Nope,
Pounds.
There you go.
Sonic is
Ounces.
like his canon. Nobody can keep up. There you
It do
go.
be feeling that way, doesn't it? All right. Dylan Borger.
We're back. First off, I want to say I said earlier I don't remember what Gold's powers were in that Silver story I was talking about. She has, just because for peace of mind, in case anyone was still wondering, telepathy, psychokinesis, minor mental healing, and mind control, and above average education in science and civics, which is pretty cool. Above average education is a very good superpower.
Very
Also,
talented.
anyway. Let's see, Bladed Fox 14 with the $5.
He does.
Knights, which I assume you mean Knights, spelled the other way, have collabed with Sonic so many times they might as well be part of the same canon. Yes. No, I
Knights
agree.
should
They
have
might
been
as well
in-
be
might as well
in
be.
the same thing.
Knight should have been an unlockable character in Sonic Dream Team.
Oh yeah.
That would have been
Just
cool.
for- Yeah, I mean, just make them a flying character, and I think it would have worked out
literally,
fine.
like you literally have like a knight's level as DLC for Sonic Lost World, even though it's just repurposing a bunch of boss fights from Sonic Lost World.
Yeah, and Adventure. They have the pinball thing.
Yep, and Adventure 2, they have like the posters.
Posters. They have the buildings.
And
with the
Klonoa
shape of
Fantasy
Sonic's
Reverie
head.
series, because that takes place in dreams. Yes.
Yes, and that takes place in Dreams for the PS4 and PS5.
That
so it's the
also
same.
takes place in the Sonic universe. Because according to my
even
sister, Klonoa is the child of Sonic and Tails.
Moving on.
I don't know if that works
Sonic
like that, but okay.
Sonic is playable in Christmas nights.
Oh, that's
if
true.
you have the Sega Saturn version only.
I want Klonoa to be my son. I'm so proud of him.
Okay.
So who would the other parent be, Sonic or Tails?
Rouge, fuck it. Who cares how biology works? He's adopted. Fuck it.
There you go.
Oh, it's me. Okay, so Mr. Terry Chaos sends to. Oh, what is that currency, Terry? What is that currency?
Dollar
I
dues.
don't know what the currency is, but he sends 2 of it. Imagine if this comic release is Ken's hero arc. Well, we've debunked that now.
He's not my hero.
Thanks for the 2 E's.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know what the currency is,
2
Terry.
E's.
Oh, it's not like we've met in person in the same country.
All right, KB with the $9.99 dues.
No! We're not doing this again, Frank. Okay? I don't know what kind of sick game you think this is, but we're not doing that. They're just
Look,
freedom
Trey
dollars.
isn't here, so somebody has to do it.
Fuck
Freedom dollar
Trey,
dues.
he's getting fucked right now. Alright? It's gonna be fine for him. So just freedom
Did you see the
dollars.
redrawn pages where Sonic and Tails are on Angel Island? They ripped the backgrounds from Angel Island Zone and Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
That really?
Wait, what?
Ian, can you find this?
Yeah.
You can find anything.
Uh,
The redrawn pages where Sonic and Tails are on Angel Island and the backgrounds have been ripped from.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Let's see here. Let me pull these up. Yeah. Yeah, we can continue on, but I'll find those for you.
Okay, sure thing.
All right.
Okay. Actually, Ian, though, you are.
You want me to take
Oh,
over
perfect.
this one?
I mean, the thing is.
No,
it's
I can
kinda
do it.
perfect
Actually,
for
no.
him,
Oh, no, this is for you.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say perfect timing. Perfect, back to back. Maui, 23, $10 US. Ian Waffles, what is your opinion on IDW Sonic making their actual game characters like the Babylon Rogues incompetent, looking like fools to prop up comic OCs? Okay, so I know what they're talking about. I mean, yeah, the Babylon Rogues in general, I guess specifically Jet, he's had a few stories where he just really is kind of like more of a goofball type character. A lot of people really like the Babylon Rogues. They really want to see them kind of be treated with respect. I would say they definitely got that in the Metal Virus. But in general, the IDW comics likes to, prop up its OCs as kind of like the main characters. But I would say that's just more of an effect of they can't really do too much with the game characters. So I would just say, like most things with IDW, I think a lot of it just kind of like collapses in on itself as it keeps going and as they keep trying to find new stories they can tell. And unfortunately, the game cast just kind of, I wouldn't say has to get put to the side because there's always a way you could do it, but they just kind of inevitably have gotten put more to the side or have to kind of serve the OC characters' storylines because those are the stories they can tell that can grow and evolve. So it's just kind of like an extension of the general IDW problem with Sega and just the way they tell stories. So there you go.
Barker.
Oh, I'm back. Here we go. KB with the $1.99 US dollars. Mogul was only Silver's mentor pre-reboot. Yes, that's true. I mixed those two things up because Professor von Schlemmer tends to be more of a mentor in like the updated or like the post-boot, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Really sounds like a fucking Australian.
The post-boot.
Post-boot.
Looks like you're getting the post-boot, brother.
So, okay. We got KB back again with the $1 freedom $1.99. You guys seen the Terminal Montage Shadow video? I have. Yeah,
That
I
video is
have.
so good.
Oh,
I've seen clips.
that does remind me of something, though, because it did cause some confusion, because that video seems to imply that Shadow Generations would take place post-murder of Sonic the Hedgehog and post-Forces, so post-Frontiers as well. And people are like, well, how does that work, then, if it allegedly has the Time Eater and...
It's time travel.
Yeah, that's what I was saying on Twitter. It's like, the Time Eater can time travel, so who's to say he can't just go to the future before he was defeated? Like, that's something they could do, though. Like, for every, like, anniversary for a character, they could have the Time Eater be a recurring threat. So one day, you do a Silver Generations in the next 10 years or so, Time Eater pops out in Silver's future, rawr, and is like, yeah, you're now going on an adventure.
Sonic X
Or,
Silver
like
Rivals.
happiness if they did that. But
But
like,
it's actually so easy
I
for them
saw
to
a really
make...
handy chart
Like,
about
Shadow
this.
Shadow Generations could be the blueprint for a new form of sequel Sega could do, where it's like every couple of, like, 5 years or a decade or so, they'll do a generation story for a different Sonic character that the Time Eater's now gonna fuck with. And it doesn't matter that he got defeated, because he's a fucking time traveler.
Is the Time Eater, so...
So
Yeah.
the question is, would you put it on a game remaster where you include it with a remaster of a game?
You can do, but eventually you're gonna run out of games.
And it's gonna look like it's like, oh wow, they don't have enough content for a full game, so they have to package in some old game with it.
Or release it for like, I don't know, like $30. On its
Make
long
it
term.
okay,
This is
please.
Sega. They think Sonic is now AAA, so they're gonna sell it for a little more.
Okay, just keep releasing Sonic Generations, then fuck. I don't know, like Dream Team. You got a game right there. Just do that.
You gotta wait another 2 years.
I'll wait. I don't want another. I don't want to have a Generations every year. So like, yeah, I'll wait.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I sent the picture to the back rooms.
Aha.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's the pixel background. Okay, they can't. They can't do that. Surely.
There's no fucking way.
But there's something here that I find quite funny. I'm going to put it in back rooms. No one
Dude,
say anything. No one say
Hate
anything.
how Sonic and Tails look there too.
No one
They
say-
look
It's
awful
all
in this.
It's
How'd it-
all the backgrounds with like drawn over to have something in the foreground. What the
His
fuck
tails
is
don't
this?
even look correct. He looks like he's doing like a Tasmanian devil spin with his tail.
Okay, Pop.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
Oh god.
Well, the next super chat is let's see, from Mr. Krabs again. If you want me to read it.
Oh. I think it's Franken's turn.
Well, it doesn't have the impersonations, or like it doesn't have
Oh,
like
yeah,
the laugh
okay,
or
you can do
anything,
it.
so I don't have to do that. Mr. Krabs with the $1.99 freedom pesos. Sega create original Chow variant. My life is your.
As in
Create
like
regional Chow variants.
Actually, what if... Oh no. I know what Sega are like. They're gonna love this. Okay, so when they finally get round to making Sonic Adventure 3 with a Chow Garden, make regional exclusive Chow. Have a fucking British Chow that eats chips and beans and gravy, and make an American Chow that is just free as the fucking wind. And make an Australian one that has a
It's a good
didgeridoo.
A British fat chow. I've conquered all the
chippies. I'm never gonna stop. Oh, that's the end of
All
this.
right.
Well, there you go.
And with it, the end of the episode. Got cut off. Ow.
chips and peas and gravy. Love it the fucking lot.
Pepperoni pizza and chicken vindaloo. I'm a big fat bastard. 'Cause I love me fucking food.
Hello, nurse.
It's
That's
so...
a Animaniacs line, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ah. Wait, what is...
Did someone say you sound like Yakko Warder or something? No,
Well, okay, so the sun has set on another episode of Sunset City, so that means we will have to leave. But first, before we go, we must promote our things. So, starting off with you, Garrulus. Garrulus64.
Oh, that's me. I upload videos pretty much every day now about mainly fan games, ROM hacks, mods for Sonic and stuff. Today I released a 2-hour compilation of 11 of those things that I've played recently that I thought were pretty cool. And, you could play them while you're waiting for the new games to come out. So if you want to watch that, it's up there. It's 2 hours. Pretty fun. You can just sit there and just listen to it. And I wouldn't advise like trying to use it to go to sleep like some long videos because I probably yell a lot. But it could be fun. Watch it while you're eating cereal.
I've actually had
something.
your videos on in the past while going to sleep.
Really? I assume like the more scripted ones, not the.
It's weird because it's like it's kind of like a voice you can trust because I know you.
Thanks, man.
Like
nice.
It's like he's lulling me to sleep. I'm safe.
That's cool. Okay, so maybe they can be used for that. I am a voice you can trust, I guess.
I've tried that with Pup's most recent video, and then I just hear out of nowhere, I'm actually kind of gooning. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So my videos. See, I've for a while wanted to make one of those sleep compilation things, but I've realized that every one of my video, it's too infrequent for me to even track. Is that there will just be a cursed or horrible moment in there. That's just going to make it really impossible. And it's so infrequent that I would have to scour them, so I can't just easily edit a compilation. So, that's... A sleep pup is never going to happen.
I speak too fast in scripted videos. There's no way I'd be able to make one.
You got a very calming voice, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, your tone of voice is not, like... It does not range into, like, too loud or disruptive.
Well, actually, Ian, I remember when we had you and Loa on as well. Before that, I wanted to make sure that I would watch the entirety of the big Sonic video essay.
Lol.
That was the plan. And I was like, okay, I'm going to pop it on, and I'm going to lay down, and I'm just going to listen to this with my eyes shut, stuff. I go to sleep. I go to sleep, and then I wake up next morning, I'm like, let's try that again tonight. I tried again. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it doesn't matter if I go to sleep because I'll subconsciously digest the information. Eventually, I just watched it. Eventually, I just watched it in the daytime. But I also remember after the call, I was like, this is clearly proven to be good, like nighttime entertainment for sleeping. So I was struggling to sleep. So like, I'll put this on. This clearly works. And then I start hearing the cover of the Sad AM theme tune, and I'm just like bobbing my head, like, "Well, this ain't right."
We've gotten multiple comments from people where they're like, "Oh yeah, I went to bed like watching this, and then I woke up at the part where Loart's in a Sonic suit running towards his cartoon self. He eats him, and then like it starts playing, like like chanting as Sonic is screaming as it shows Tails' feet, and he's like, I literally." The person said like, "I literally thought I was dying."
I also another thing I remember though, right, is
I'm in danger.
I remember being like, okay, I'm gonna close my eyes, I'm gonna go to sleep, and I was like, and now it's time for the top 10 hottest Sallies.
Hottest.
And I was like, oh, I gotta see
the top 5 hottest Sally Acorns.
Yeah,
Number 5. Yeah.
I was just like, oh, I gotta see this. I gotta put my screen on. Let's fucking. I gotta see these. And you know what? The number 1 pick. Yeah, they're great. Like sometimes the hottest ones in other people's opinions aren't the most tastefully designed, but she was a perfect mix of tasteful and kind of fucking bad. You know, like.
By the way, when it says "Here we go" and it's someone running down the road, that is actually me. So
you actually did the Guptil run.
In the original video, he goes, "Here we go."
No,
and
I have watched the Guptil video many times.
So I had to do it myself.
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, "Hang on a minute, you cheeky bastards." Poor Guptil got so bullied for that though, but like it's what it is. But okay.
Anyway.
Have we asked Franken what he's doing?
No.
Franken, what are you doing?
I am working on a video about Mega Man fan games for Sage. I was gonna finish the Sonic one, but unfortunately, Sonic Ultra Saturn was not working for me, and I want to try to get that one working so I can actually talk about it. Because as much as Pup was not did not have the greatest time with it.
No, it's a very well made thing and good for him. It's just devilishly difficult. Devilishly difficult.
I kind of want to know like what he means, like from firsthand experience. I would like to experience the game so way.
Difficult.
I have a lot to talk about, but I just, you know.
But yeah, no, just devilishly difficult.
I would like to play it, but unfortunately, I'm having issues with the not so simple Sonic Worlds game engine. I think it has to do with their controller implementation. That usually tends to be the issue, but you know, until I can get it working, that video is kind of it's stuck in purgatory.
Also, just quickly before we go to you, Ian, I'll do just one more super chat here from Mr. Krabs, with one freedom $1.99, British Gachow, cheese grommet, Che. What the che?
There you go.
Please, grommet.
Imagine Che Guevara.
Oh no.
All right, Ian, what are you doing?
Yes, I'm Ian Waffles. There's a barking dog in the background. Sorry about that.
Yes,
I make
sorry.
YouTube videos finally again, and yeah, I just released a video on Bochi the Rock. I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna try to be releasing 4 more videos before the end of the year. I'm gonna mute myself so the dog doesn't stop barking. Sorry about that.
It's okay. The dog is happy.
Yeah,
the dog has had it up to here with him.
Which is it? The dog is a wealthy Hollywood elite.
All right, Pop.
That has
what are
plenty of
doing?
British pounds.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I actually don't know what I'm doing.
Okay.
But what I've done is
What have you done?
I made a feature-length video on Marvel Fortnite collaborations. So you can check that out. That's a video I made. I did that.
Heck yeah.
Yay for me, Pup. As for what I'm doing,
By the way, Pup, really good gameplay in the background.
Shut up. Just shut up, okay? There were a couple of victory royales in there, okay?
Yeah, you really had some sweaty lobbies there.
Shut up. Leave me alone.
My favorite part was the footage of the shop.
Okay, look. Yeah, it was a very tedious video to edit, okay?
And steal footage from Lit.
I'm not gonna steal footage from Lit. Although I do have access to all of his footage, so... Also his entire YouTube account, so if you think I'm not trustworthy, think again. But yeah, that's... Give me your password. But, yeah, so... that's what I've done. What I'm up to is, right now, I'm actually... editing some videos for Nick, so it might be a little bit until the next Pup video. I'll try and make it as regular as possible. You know, gotta stay regular. You know, eat a lot of fiber and shit. But, like, you know, that's all she wrote. That's all, you know, yeah.
Nice.
There we go.
All right, with that, yeah, that's it. Who's gonna say something for the last time? Who's the last word?